pimps,
What the hell you want, bitch?
cultists,
May the Great Witch be with you.
toxic masculinity.
My girthy schlong.
Sup dudes, it's Snail, and this isn't an average college town in the US.
Fucker right in the put.
It's the mod we're looking at today. I'm pretty sure this is the worst mod I've ever played to date, and you've seen me play some pretty bad mods before, so that's really saying something. It's simply titled Connecticut, and it's by the same person who made Fallout Vermont and New Hampshire, both of which I've played before on the channel, and the links are in the description if you haven't seen them before. Normally I'd play these, hate these, and I'd end up trying to fix the issues with other mods I find on Nexus. Except this time there's one really big difference. This mod was so bad, I tried to fix it in the creation kit.
Feral ghouls.
I deploy the most seamen in all of New England.
Okay, other than being the third smallest US state, Connecticut is the setting for this new world space and quest mod that, like the author's previous work, starts with a door carelessly slapped in the world space around Sanctuary. That's right, our passageway to this brand new world is literally just a concrete box jutting out of some rocks. You walk through the horribly immersion-breaking door and you arrive here. This is the very first thing you see after entering Connecticut. It's a giant lawn with a few lonely trees. Where's the overgrowth? The rusted out husks of cars? The random fridge with a kid in it? Wait, no. I'm actually happy about that one. 1 point for Yogi Bird. But Billy's absence is about the only upside here. I turned on all map markers just to see what I was working with, and holy fuck, that's so many map markers. This might seem like a good thing at first, but these mods have never had great density to begin with, and having so much more space means it's going to be so much worse. But before we move on, let me get this off my chest. I hate saying the name of this place because the urge to say Connect I Cut is way too strong. Anyways, let's move on. After starting my walking simulator slop run, I encountered nothing. Until I eventually came across some local transients. A whole settlement of them, in fact. I approached their tent city, finally happy to interact with anything at all, and...
Hey.
Hi there, stranger. We've had an unexpected outbreak of feral ghouls recently.
Yeah, I should have seen this one coming. These mods use AI voice generation for dialogue, and the generation is always really bad.
Move along, citizen.
It doesn't help that the dialogue itself has poor characterization, or that when you activate dialogue, they just info dump on you like an autistic train enthusiast. Anyways, these individuals I just met follow a person named the
Great Witch. The Great Witch.
The Great Witch.
Cultists, again, just like the last mod. Great. You know, it's impressive that he's recycled the same premise 3 times now, even if it already felt old the first time around, but the author must have watched my video on New Hampshire, since I said this about the cultists last time. Arched white clothing. There's not a single rag or piece of burlap in sight. Why are they dressed like this and not more like a raider, or like give them a Children of Adam robe or something? Swapping tech cultists out for radiation poisoning enthusiasts was a great choice in my book. The Institute outfits were wildly out of place, and they gave the NPCs this unsettling sense of unity, made so much worse by the AI voice gen.
And said that a chosen one had arrived.
It was almost as bad as this massive billboard image of the Great Witch in the middle of nowhere. For a revered goddess, she sure feels more like an advertisement. So leaving the future Kool-Aid victims to their business, I came across a Red Rocket gas station with a few individuals carrying the title of knave. Now if you don't know what that means, according to dictionary.com, a knave is defined as an unprincipled, untrustworthy, or dishonest person, a male servant, or a man of humble position. Thankfully, this isn't a Thuggy Smurf mod, so this title shouldn't carry any weird sexual overtones with it. Instead, we learn that these knaves are servants of
The Emperor.
The Emperor.
Emperor Moses I.
Very interesting, thanks man. Now could I go find this guy that they're talking about? Yeah. Do I feel like it? Dude, I don't even feel like being in Connecticut. Finally, the last faction of NPCs I met can only be described as city dwellers. Now it's more of the usual for these mods, these guys just stand around waiting to be interacted with. Honestly, I think I would prefer if they were T-posed because then at least it would be funny. But even if they did move, what would they do when their surroundings look like this? The city is also where things went from boring to grating.
Buy my course and get intercourse today.
Here's some stellar dialogue writing brought to you by these NPCs.
The town dating coach has really helped me with my game.
I tried to tame one of the ferals.
I would dip my nuts in honey and stick them in a beehive just for the chance to be with her.
I know we're not supposed to teabag our kills, but I just can't help myself.
But about a week ago, all these fucking ferals started showing up.
Only the best can ride on the Becky Express.
Even the Emperor simps for me.
I've had sex with over 1,000 women.
Okay, firstly, how do prostitutes even exist out here? Where are the beds? Did Connecticut and its people simply never develop the technology necessary for missionary position? But forget that, there's no signs of a coherent civilization existing here besides the NPCs insisting there is.
The city became a hub for all kinds of commerce.
So how could you have jobs to begin with? Look, it's not that these things can't exist in Fallout, it's more about context, and unfortunately the context here is non-existent. Also, I hate them. Fuck these NPCs. What the? They're essential? So those are the factions, and factions usually mean a story and main quest, but once again there's no quest markers and no quest. However, as luck would have it, I'd accidentally beat the main quest anyway, or so I think. I remembered hearing something about this Witch World theme park place, and since I enabled all map markers earlier with a command, it was conveniently marked and ready to go. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I get accosted by a ghoul? Come on, man. Now here's a tip if you play these mods. If you ever have trouble finding the entrance to a location, look for the idle NPCs. That's exactly what I did, and you know what? It worked. I spoke with them briefly to see what sort of nonsense they'd say, and one of them even warned me about the park.
Whoa there, stranger. I wouldn't go in there if I were you. That old place is creepy as fuck.
I learned very quickly that while the empty park looked creepy, it held all the danger of a newborn puppy. Hell, the greeter ghoul in the parking lot was more threatening. It's a shame because I actually like the location. It has a certain Chernobyl energy in a Unity asset flip kind of way that's really hard to find. While walking the park grounds, I came across a facility at the perfect moment. I was just falling asleep at my desk when I found it. For some reason, the door was inaccessible, but this is where the unlock command comes in handy. Excuse me, what the fuck? Okay, that sort of stops me. Just kidding. I used the TCL command and merely floated my ass through. I took my time to explore this interior since this had been the most interesting thing I had come across in my entire playthrough. Floating through surfaces was cool, but the rooms were all empty, and I thought maybe this whole thing's just for show. Until I went into this room. That's when I found a glowing ghoul named Anita Cockburn. Come on, dude, really? I mean, I was gonna kill it anyway, but the cringe made it easier. After killing it, I found a note while searching the room, and lo and behold, it's written by the cringy one I just killed. It makes mention of immortality and being a great witch, and that's when it hit me. I just killed
the Great Witch. The Great Witch.
The Great Witch.
Like, just like that. It was that easy. That's it. It's over. Oh my god. It's finally over. I still had a few questions, like why use this building full of empty rooms for a single enemy? Why was it this easy to just kill an important figure? And why am I still playing this to begin with? But honestly, I'm happy to just leave those unanswered. I'm just glad it's over. Ah, but over doesn't mean we're done. Far from it, since now I have to undertake the task of making this mod mildly more palatable. Thankfully, we've identified the problems with it. The worst part of these mods is always going to be the author's habit of under-designing his world spaces. For the most part, they're just sprawling forests, but since there's nothing interesting by the road, you might as well just be on rails. Fallout 4's exploration loop is never practiced in a Yogi Bird mod, and thus it never feels like there's a reason to deviate from the path. This used to be somewhat offset by the ghoul mobs placed by the road in older mods. However, if you thought Connecticut would follow suit, they're spread so far apart within the world space that a dead Brahmin would feel more threatening. Engaging them feels a lot less like actual combat and more like you're just checking a box. Now, is it all totally bad? Nah, not really. Sometimes you'll get areas that look impressive. For instance, there was a moment where a rad storm started up and the scenery in that one particular area was really good. If there was one true highlight for this whole experience, it was this moment right here. But after the rad storm was over and the spell was broken, I was left with a feeling somewhat adjacent to post-nut clarity. The reality had set back in. There's do-nothing cultists, out-of-place AI art, horrible voice gen.
Once was a man named Enos.
Complete tonal whiplash provided by the copious amounts of dick jokes.
Who had a very small penis.
And whatever this is supposed to be. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Chief. I don't think I can fix this with other mods. How am I supposed to improve on absolutely nothing? Connecticut isn't just bad, it's nothing. It's the most vast low-effort mod I've ever seen. I'll need to use the creation kit and make something from scratch. And the very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a stark improvement to every NPC in the game.
I know we're not supposed to teabag our kills.
Now it turns out making the NPCs non-essential was a fantastic choice for my desire to engage with them. I finally had a reason to seek them out, even if that reason was cold-blooded murder. After the purge was done, I decided to do something about the entrance to the world space. I built a fence around the entrance, placed a cooking station, and made a lore node of my own right next to the author's welcome note. I coupled all that with some environmental storytelling to really add some flair. Next, I figured out how to create a blood bug ambush so as soon as you come through that door, you're being assaulted. Next, if you decide to detour off the main road once you're done with the blood bugs, you'll run into a Deathclaw who is currently a little bugged, but I'll figure that one out soon. But if you don't detour because you're scared, let's face it, you'll run into a pack of feral ghouls who are feasting on a very unfortunate traveler. My next plan is to make some sort of workshop or settlement nearby, complete with its own lore to really flesh it out. My plan over time is to fill some of the space in with large creature encounters and engaging fights so that there's at least some reason to play around in this world space. I've already started the beginnings of that, and you can actually download my changes that you've seen in this video from the Nexus Mods link in the description, along with all my other links like the community Discord server or my song on Spotify. Anyway, yeah, Connecticut is really bad, but this is all I have for now. Keep an eye on my fixes mod because I will be updating it over time. I hope at the very least I can make something special with it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Let me know in the comments what the fresh hell I should dive into next. See you later, guys. Peace.